Yeah. Very impressive. Girl power, the only woman to do it?
Yes.
I love it, I love it. All right, our next speaker is Jeff Bickard. He's our final Sugar Scholar of the evening. He's coming to us from San Francisco, California, where he is the Director of Operations at Fay Business Systems Group. So Jeff has actually finished a half Ironman. So for those of you who are not athletic like me, what that means is it's a 1.2 mile swim, 56 miles biked, followed by a 13.1 mile run for a total of 70.3 miles. So this lightning talk is going to be a breeze. Woo!
First, let's give a hand to all the people who are before me because they're going to be way better than me. So I'm Jeff Bickard. I used to host a YouTube channel called Power Hour with Jeff Bickard. It ran for about 18 months. It was coordinated with a blog. I talked about SugarCRM development. Everything from what a sugar bean is, how to build a module, how to do integrations, how to do just about anything. I stopped it after about 18 months because I got about 10 compliments, 10 feedbacks, 10 whatever else, pretty much silence in the community. So if you'd like something brought back, please see me afterwards. I'm really old in the SugarCRM development world. In dog years, I'd be 90-something years old. I've been around since 2004. The only person that's older than me is Clint. Clint has been here since the very beginning. There's probably a few other people. Cedric from Sonolia, Ken Brill out here. There are a few other people that probably are a little bit older than me. This is what Sugar looked like when I started. On the left is Sugar 1.0. On the right is Sugar 3.5. That's when I started, what SugarCRM's website looked like. This is interactive. Everybody who started with Sugar 8, raise your hands. Okay, you're nice young newbies, so it's a little bit different. This is what it looks like. You'll notice, it's pretty, it has nice colors. Sugar 7, how many people started with Sugar 7? Okay, so again, nice young newbies. You'll notice that the UI is a little bit different, but all the modules are the same. The colors are a little bit different. There are some new feature functionality. There's some new dashlets. There's a lot of new cool things. Sugar 6. All right, a good group of people that started with Sugar 6. Again, same modules, cases, contacts, accounts. Sugar is still a CRM system. It's still basically the same system. Sugar 5. Oh, still a couple hands. I'm surprised. There's a couple hands in Sugar 5. This was the fastest version of Sugar. It was extremely quick. It had a very quick and nice user interface. This is what we started using. Then we'll go all the way back to Sugar 4. Okay? See a few people with Sugar 4.
4 was faster.
Okay, 4 was faster. There's a call control in the lower left-hand corner. This is the company that I started with. We were a startup that built a phone-enabled system. It was really cool. You can do call inbound, call outbound, completely integrated with your IVR. But as a SugarCRM developer, things that you need to think about over time. Take a walk around the world. You don't have to do just sugar. Lots of things will happen along your life. So enjoy the ride. Things that happen in your development, like every single tool that you've ever used will go away. There's not a single tool that I use today that existed when I started. I started using things like VI and Emacs. All of that nobody uses today. Learn to use all the tools that are available. Learn to debug. Okay, so if you're going to be a SugarCRM developer, become an expert in debugging. I do this every day. Dang it, I step too far. JavaScript. JavaScript is the future. If you're not comfortable with JavaScript, get comfortable with JavaScript. Every single thing that's on this slide did not exist when I started using Sugar. And I'm guessing that in the time that I've been talking, there's new things that have come out in the JavaScript world. PHP, I started with PHP version 4. I didn't know a single thing in PHP when I started. I was a Java guy. Right? I worked for Sony Microsystems. I used Java 1.0.0. Okay, so if you don't know what that is, that's old shit. So you get used to things changing, languages changing. This is supposed to be a JavaScript slide, not a PHP slide, but learn the language, get to know what's happening around in your environment. Become an expert in testing. If you don't go out and worry about what's happening with testing, you're never going to be successful in making sure that your clients or your own internal systems are working well. Learn to become a great tester. Cloud computing. When I started my software as a service application company, we built 2 data centers. We had $2.5 million in funding. We spent more than $1 million, more than half of the money, building data centers. There's no such thing as Amazon Web Services. There's no Google Cloud. There's nothing. So learn the new services. Source code control. Become an expert in source code control. You know, your life depends on source code control. I don't know about you, I download instances from SugarCloud and use source code control to know what I changed. If I don't do that, I would have no idea what's happening. When you're figuring out, when you want other people to do work, write good user stories, write good test plans. If you don't do that, how would anybody know what they're supposed to be doing? On Blue, these are the things that I would tell myself. I went back 14 years in my SugarCRM world. Life moves fast. Go out there and see what's new. Learn JavaScript. Learn cloud computing. Learn all the different things that are out there. Language, tools, IDEs, they're all going to change. So what I started with VI, moving to PHP Eclipse, to PHP Storm, you know, life changes, get over it. Cloud computing, virtualization, containers, learn them. They're all going to change. You're going to get older. Every day that you wake up, there's a new technology. PHP is an evolving language. Learn them. Figure out what's happening, what's new. All of that stuff applies to Sugar. Learn JavaScript. If you don't learn JavaScript, you got a problem. Testing is important as writing code. Plan for the test so that you can write really good code. Document everything. Because you know what? I don't want to be supporting what I wrote in Sugar 4. Right? I want to pass it on to the next person. Let them deal with it. Write great user stories so that the next person can do the work. Be one with the debugger. Right? You know, if you are not a great developer with using the debugger, then, you know, what are you going to do? Log all day? If you learn to use the debugger, you can step through what's happening and you can become an expert in what's happening inside of SugarCRM. You can become an expert in what you're trying to debug. You can add a dashlet and know why it works and why it doesn't work. And then master source code control, because it's going to save your ass.